It all happened when the tame animals were wild. The dog was wild, and the horse was wild, and the cow was wild, and the sheep was wild, and the pig was wild, and they walked in the wet wild woods by their wild lones. But the wildest of all the wild animals was the cat. He walked by himself, and all places were alike to him. Of course the man was wild too. He was terribly wild. He wasn't tame till he met the woman, and she told him that she did not like living in his wild ways. She found a nice dry cave, and she put some clean sand on the floor, and she made a nice fire at the back of the cave, and she said, "Wipe your feet, dear, when you come in, and now we'll keep house." That night they ate wild sheep roasted on hot stones with wild pepper, and wild duck with wild rice and wild cherries. Then the man went to sleep happily, but the woman sat up near the fire. She took the bone of the shoulder of sheep and she made a magic. She made the first singing magic in the world. Out in the wet wild woods all the wild animals gathered together because they saw the light of the fire a long way off, and they wondered what it meant. Then Wild Horse stamped with his wild foot and said, "Oh my friends and oh my enemies, why have the man and the woman made that great light in that great cave?" Wild Dog lifted up his wild nose and smelled the smell of the roast sheep and said, "I will go up and see and look, and say, for I think it is good." "Cat, come with me." "No," said the cat. "I am the cat who walks by himself, and all places are alike to me. I will not come." "Then we can never be friends again," said Wild Dog, and he ran to the cave. But when he went away the cat said to himself, "All places are alike to me. Why should I not go too and see and look?" So he followed Wild Dog softly, very softly, and hid himself where he could hear everything. When Wild Dog came to the cave he felt the beautiful smell of the roast sheep, and the woman heard him, and laughed, and said, "Here comes the first wild thing out of the wild woods, what do you want?" Wild Dog said, "Oh my enemy and wife of my enemy, what is this that smells so good in the wild woods?" Then the woman took a roasted sheep bone and threw it to Wild Dog, and said, "Wild thing out of the wild woods, taste and try." Wild Dog tried it, and it was the tastiest, and he said, "Oh my enemy and wife of my enemy, give me another." The woman said, "Wild thing out of the wild woods, help my man to hunt and guard this cave at night, and I will give you as many roast bones as you need." "Ah," said the cat, listening. "This is a very clever woman, but she is not so clever as I am." Wild Dog came into the cave and said, "Oh my friend and wife of my friend, I will help your man to hunt, and at night I will guard your cave." "Ah," said the cat, listening. "That is a very foolish dog." And he went back through the wet wild woods waving his wild tail, and walking by his wild lone. But he never told anybody. When the man waked up he said, "What is Wild Dog doing here?" And the woman said, "His name is not Wild Dog anymore, but the first friend, because he will be our friend for always and always and always. Take him with you when you go hunting." Next night the woman cut great green fresh grass, and dried it before the fire, so that it smelt wonderful, and she sat near the cave and she made the second singing magic in the world. Out in the wild woods all the wild animals wondered what had happened to Wild Dog, and at last Wild Horse stamped with his foot and said, "I will go and see and say why Wild Dog has not returned. Cat, come with me." "Nenny," said the cat. "I am the cat who walks by himself, and all places are alike to me. I will not come." But all the same he followed Wild Horse softly, very softly, and hid himself where he could hear everything. When the woman heard Wild Horse coming up to the cave, she laughed and said, "Here comes the second wild thing out of the wild woods. What do you want?" Wild Horse said, "Oh my enemy and wife of my enemy, where is Wild Dog?" The woman laughed and said, "Wild thing out of the wild woods, you did not come here for Wild Dog, but for the sake of this good grass." And Wild Horse said, "That is true, give it to me to eat." The woman said, "Wild thing out of the wild woods, if you wear what I give you, you will eat the wonderful grass 3 times a day." "Ah," said the cat, listening. "This is a clever woman, but she is not so clever as I am." Wild Horse said, "Oh my mistress, and wife of my master, I will be your servant for the sake of the wonderful grass." "Ah," said the cat, listening. "That is a very foolish horse." And he went back through the wet wild woods, waving his wild tail and walking by his wild lone. But he never told anybody. When the man and the dog came back from hunting, the man said, "What is Wild Horse doing here?" And the woman said, "His name is not Wild Horse anymore, but the first servant, because he will carry us from place to place for always and always and always. Ride on his back when you go hunting." Next day, Wild Cow came up to the cave, and the cat followed, and hid himself just the same as before, and everything happened just the same as before, and the cat said the same things as before. And when Wild Cow had promised to give her milk to the woman every day for the sake of the wonderful grass, the cat went back through the wet wild woods waving his wild tail and walking by his wild lone, just the same as before. But he never told anybody. And when the man and the horse and the dog came home from hunting and asked the same question same as before, the woman said, "Her name is not Wild Cow anymore, but the giver of good food. She will give us the warm white milk for always and always and always, and I will take care of her while you and the first friend and the first servant go hunting." Next day the cat waited to see if any other wild thing would go up to the cave, but no one moved in the wet wild woods, so the cat walked there by himself, and he saw the woman milking the cow, and he saw the light of the fire in the cave, and he smelt the smell of the warm white milk. Cat said, "Oh my enemy and wife of my enemy, where did Wild Cow go?" The woman laughed and said, "Wild thing out of the wild woods, go back to the woods again, because we have no more need of either friends or servants." Cat said, "I am not a friend, and I am not a servant. I am the cat who walks by himself, and I wish to come into your cave." Woman said, "Then why did you not come with first friend on the first night?" Cat grew very angry and said, "Has Wild Dog told tales of me?" Then the woman laughed and said, "You are the cat who walks by himself, and all places are alike to you. You are neither a friend nor a servant. You have said it yourself. Go away and walk by yourself in all places alike." Then Cat said, "Must I never come into the cave? Must I never sit by the warm fire? Must I never drink the warm white milk? You are very clever and very beautiful. You should not be cruel even to a cat." Woman said, "I knew I was clever, but I did not know I was beautiful. So I will make a bargain with you. If I say one nice word to you, you may come into the cave. And if you say 2 nice words to me," said the cat. "I never shall," said the woman, "but if I say 2 nice words, you may sit by the fire in the cave." "And if you say 3 words," said the cat. "I never shall," said the woman, "but if I say 3 words, you may drink the warm white milk 3 times a day for always and always and always." Then the cat said, "Now let the curtain of the cave, and the fire at the back of the cave, and the milk pots that stand near the fire, remember what my enemy and the wife of my enemy has said." And he went away through the wet wild woods, waving his wild tail and walking by his wild lone. That night, when the man and the horse and the dog came home from hunting, the woman did not tell anything about the cat. Cat went far and far away and hid himself in the wet wild woods by his wild lone for a long time, till the woman forgot all about him. Only the bat that lived inside the cave knew where Cat hid, and every evening Bat would fly to Cat with news of what was happening. One evening Bat said, "There is a baby in the cave. He is new and pink and fat and small, and the woman is very fond of him." "Ah," said the cat, listening, "but what is the baby fond of?" "He is fond of things that are soft and tickle," said the bat. "He is fond of warm things to hold in his arms when he goes to sleep. He likes to play with such things." "Ah," said the cat, listening, "then my time has come." Next night Cat walked through the wet wild woods and hid very near the cave till morning time, and man and dog and horse went hunting. The woman was busy cooking that morning, and the baby cried. So she carried him outside the cave and gave him some stones to play with. But still the baby cried. Then the cat put out his soft paw and touched the baby, and the cat rubbed against its fat knees and tickled it under its fat chin with his tail. And the baby laughed, and the woman heard him and smiled. Then the bat that lived hung in the cave said, "Oh, my hostess, and wife of my host and mother of my host's son, a wild thing from the wild woods is most beautifully playing with your baby." "A blessing on that wild thing," said the woman, "because I was a busy woman this morning and he has done me a service." That very minute and second the dry horse skin curtain fell down, because it remembered everything. And when the woman went to pick it up, the cat was sitting inside the cave. "Oh, my enemy and wife of my enemy and mother of my enemy," said the cat, "it is I, for you have spoken a nice word about me, and now I can sit in the cave for always and always and always. But still I am the cat who walks by himself, and all places are alike to me." The woman was very angry and took up her spinning wheel and began to spin. But the baby cried because there was no cat around, and the woman could not hush it. "Oh, my enemy and wife of my enemy and mother of my enemy," said the cat, "shall I show you a magic that shall make your baby laugh as loudly as he is now crying?" "Do so," said the woman, "because I am very tired of his crying, but I will not thank you for it." She tied the thread to the little clay spindle whorl and dropped it on the floor, as the cat told her. The cat ran after it and played with it till the baby laughed loudly, and they played together till the baby grew tired and went to sleep with the cat in his arms. "Now," said Cat, "I will sing the baby a song that shall keep him asleep for an hour." And he began to purr, loud and low, low and loud, till the baby fell fast asleep. The woman smiled as she looked down upon the two of them, and said, "That was wonderfully done. No question, but you are very clever, O cat." That very minute and second the fire went off because it remembered everything, and when it was on, the cat was sitting close to the fire. "Oh, my enemy and wife of my enemy and mother of my enemy," said the cat, "it is I, for you have spoken a second nice word about me, and now I can sit by the warm fire in your cave for always and always and always. But still I am the cat who walks by himself, and all places are alike to me." Then the woman was very, very angry, and put more wood on the fire and took a big sheep bone and began to make a magic. She didn't want to say the third nice word about the cat. It was not a singing magic, it was a still magic, and by the cave grew so still that a little mouse went out of a corner and ran across the floor. "Oh, my enemy and wife of my enemy and mother of my enemy," said the cat, "is that little mouse part of your magic?" "Ow! Chee! No indeed," said the woman, and she dropped the big sheep bone and jumped upon the chair in front of the fire because she was very afraid of mice. "Ah," said the cat, watching, "can I catch the mouse and eat it if you please?" "Yes," said the woman, "eat it quickly and I will be thankful to you." Cat made one jump and caught the little mouse, and the woman said, "100 thanks. Even the first friend is not quick enough to catch little mice as you have done. You must be very clever." That very moment and second the milk pot that stood by the fire broke in 2 pieces, because it remembered everything, and when the woman jumped down from the chair, the cat was drinking the warm white milk that lay in one of the broken pieces. "Oh, my enemy and wife of my enemy and mother of my enemy," said the cat, "it is I, for you have spoken 3 nice words about me, and now I can drink the warm white milk 3 times a day for always and always and always. But still I am the cat who walks by himself, and all places are alike to me." Then the woman laughed and set the cat a bowl of the warm white milk and said, "Oh cat, you are as clever as a man, but remember that your bargain was not made with the man or the dog, and I do not know what they will do when they come home." "What is that to me?" said the cat. "If I have my place in the cave by the fire and my warm white milk 3 times a day, I do not care what the man or the dog can do." That evening when the man and the dog came into the cave, the woman told them all the story of the bargain, while the cat sat by the fire and smiled. Then the man said, "Yes, but he has not made a bargain with me." Then he took off his boots and he took up his little stone axe and a piece of wood and a hatchet, that is 5 altogether, and he put them on the floor and he said, "Now we will make our bargain. If you do not catch mice when you are in the cave for always and always and always, I will throw these 5 things at you whenever I see you. And so shall all men do after me." "Ah," said the woman, listening, "this is a very clever cat, but he is not so clever as my man." The cat counted the 5 things and he said, "I will catch mice when I am in the cave for always and always and always, but still I am the cat who walks by himself, and all places are alike to me." "Not when I am near," said the man. "I don't like your last words, so I am going to throw my 2 boots and my little stone axe, that makes 3, at you whenever I meet you. And so shall all men do after me." Then the dog said, "Wait a minute. He has not made a bargain with me or with all dogs after me." And he showed his teeth and said, "If you are not kind to the baby while I am in the cave for always and always and always, I will hunt you till I catch you, and when I catch you I will bite you. And so shall all dogs do after me." "Ah," said the woman, listening, "this is a very clever cat, but he is not so clever as the dog." Cat counted the dog's teeth and he said, "I will be kind to the baby while I am in the cave, as long as he does not pull my tail too hard, for always and always and always. But still I am the cat that walks by himself, and all places are alike to me." "Not when I am near," said the dog. "I don't like your last words, and I am going to hunt you up a tree whenever I meet you. And so shall all dogs do after me." Then the man threw his 2 boots and his little stone axe, that makes 3, at the cat, And the cat ran out of the cave and up a tree, and from that day to this 3 men out of 5 will always throw things at a cat whenever they meet him, and all dogs will follow the cat. But the cat keeps his side of the bargain too. He will kill mice, and he will be kind to babies when he is in the house, just as long as they do not pull his tail too hard. But when he has done that, and when the moon gets up and night comes, he is the cat that walks by himself, and all places are alike to him. Then he goes out to the wet wild woods, or up the wet wild trees, or on the wet wild roofs, waving his wild tail and walking his wild lone.